Good morning, everybody. Wow, it has been a mad couple of 3 weeks. So, today we're diving into the core transformation self-belief. Basically, if you're serious about becoming the best version of yourself, the way you build unshakable confidence, the way you keep the promises to yourself, the foundation is the habits, the foundation is the mindset, the foundation is the community. And it's basically for every goal, every dream that you have, this is going to be the structure that you need to take. A lot of it's not been easy, as in a lot of it. I think some of you, and especially myself, over the past few weeks, I've came to a realization that, do you know what? If we keep doing the same things over and over again, we're just going to keep getting the same results. And if you're not happy in your current situation, which to have 20 people on every single day has been a bit of an eye opener for me, because I thought maybe we'd have one day a couple of people, next day 20 people, next day 30 people, back down to 4 people. It's been very, very consistent at 20 people. And obviously the people that are tuning in consistently, I see ever so slightly comments gradually building. And what do I mean by this? I mean, people who didn't leave comments right at the start, or left maybe one comment a show, are now leaving 2 or 3 comments. That says to me that something has changed and something has clicked. That says to me your confidence, it might have only grown by 5%. Hi, Robbie. Maybe 5%. However, you take that over a year's time, it's quite a lot. Because you take that over half a year, there's 52 weeks in a year, 26 is in 6 months. So you times 56 by 52 by 5%. That's a lot. You're building yourself over the course of a year. Why I want to tell you that self-belief matters. I think there's only really one way you get self-belief, and I'm just going to give you a thing here. You could give the best strategies in the world, but without the belief to implement them, you'll struggle to put them in action. And that's going to be a hard truth for some of you, because what we've learned over the past 3 weeks are strategies, are tactics, are, how do you call it? Think of it as a car. I could give you the best car in the world with the best tyres, with the best steering wheel, with the best nice leather seats. However, if you don't put the fuel in the car, there's no belief in it. It's not going to go anywhere. So it could have the best features, it could have the best strategies, the best gratitude journals, the best pens in the world. However, if you don't really believe in what you're doing, it's absolutely pointless. And that's where the honesty comes in. It's you need to believe that you need to change. And by the way, it's a scary thing, but it's a good thing. It's being honest with yourself. If there's an aspect in your life that you think, do you know what? I should be here, or I want to have this. It's okay to want stuff. It's okay to feel like you're missing out on stuff. That's okay, because you're at that now. You're now ready for the next level. It's the same with me. Exact same with me. And I keep talking about Tenerife and whatever. I love Tenerife, absolutely. I think Tenerife's more of a home than Scotland in many respects. In fact, it is. It's more of a. In the 5 years I was in Tenerife, I grew more in the 5 years than I did in the past 25 years in Scotland. That's the truth. And I'll never ever talk bad about Tenerife, or that's not why I'm looking to change. However, when I'm in Tenerife, I feel very, very comfortable. I feel very, and I'm fine. However, I know for a fact that I'm settling. Remember, I spoke yesterday about relationships, and we've done something for so long in the same habit where, do you know what? It's not that bad, is it? I'm making a good living, paying my bills, eating well, really good community, got quite a few friends. However, there's something missing. And I know there's something missing. There's that fire that's missing inside me to say, what's the next goal? What's the next step? Right, you've done this, where are we going? And that doesn't have to be career. That can be in a relationship. That can be a new hobby. It can be absolutely anything. That's the whole point, to change your identity. The whole point of filling maybe a hole that you're missing at the moment. But the problem with doing this, blanket wise, is it's not for everybody. and I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be very, very real with you. Not everybody's ready to change. And if you force somebody to change, or if they think it's a good idea at the time and, you know, yeah, I'll just come along for the journey, there's going to build that resentment. So basically, section 1, why self-belief matters. Let's read some of the comments before we get kicked into this, because this is a good one today. And by the way, I've only got 25 minutes. We've got rehearsals today for assembly rooms. So we are we're go today. Hi, Claire Alexander. By the way, Claire, Caroline, Leslie, and Kathy, your journals are on the way. They're going to the post office right now as we speak. I might have forgot to do them yesterday. However, they're away today. I kept myself accountable. They are away. Good morning, fellow Mack Packers. I've only got 10 minutes before break. Right, Karen? I want to get to a point, Karen, before you leave. So hang on with me. Leslie White, good morning. Anne Louise, good morning. Anne Louise, thank you so much for your message as well. I've not properly opened it yet. I've not had a good read at it. But I skimmed over it and I appreciate that. Robbie Barry, good to see you, brother. Anne Alexander, hello, Frank. I miss your wee half an hour you used to do. I miss your wee half an hour you used to do. What do you mean? I miss your wee half an hour you used to do. What half an hour? Sorry, can't join in at Golden Jubilee. Hit knackered again. Have fun. O'Brien, speedy recovery, mate. I'll give you a wee text later on. You have been proactive, Caroline. We see how much you've changed and how much you're helping me. By the way, Caroline, I'll be shout out to Caroline, to be fair, because hi, Luciano. Sorry, I missed your name. And Nanette, sorry, guys. I've just seen the comments at the top. Yes, Caroline. I feel like you are 100% into this. Brian, hope you're well. Kathy, good. Leslie, I've been nudged to change. And by the way, that's all I really want to do, is just give somebody a nudge. Just give them a wee nudge. And because I don't want to be that person that says you have to change, you have to. Only you know if you need to change or not. And you might know that you need to change, but you might not be ready. However, you need to know the difference between actually procrastinating and actually, you know, kind of making excuses. No, I'm not ready. I'll wait till New Year. Let's get started. All right. Anna Alexander, singing. Looking forward to getting my journal. Good, Leslie, good. Thank you so much. I've been mega excited to use it daily. Good. That's the difference. That is the difference. And by the way, once you become, you know, quite content and quite happy in yourself, and the thing is, there's going to be some people, because I know I was one of these people who relied on people, as in, you know, I used to kind of pray and hope people would turn up to my gig. I would kind of, like, you know, at the very start, which I still do, and I never take it for granted. However, there's a different mindset to what I've got at the moment, as in, how do I put this? When it comes to self-belief, I don't think of it as an arrogant way by thinking, oh, this show's going to be sold out. However, what I do think is that I know I always give value at a show. I know that what I'm doing when I'm performing, when I'm entertaining, I know I make people happy. I enjoy it. I love it regardless. So the secret is, if you find something that you actually love to do, right? Whether there's 10 people there, or 1,000 people there, or 10,000 people there, like, I'm still going to give the same energy. And actually, to be honest with you, I actually don't care if there's 10 people or 10,000 people. That is the truth. Of course you want a sold out show. Of course I want, you know, stroke my ego a little bit by saying, oh, it's a sold out show. Of course that. However, if there was 10 people at assembly rooms, okay, I'm going to lose a lot of money, but regardless of money, if there was 10 people, you're still going to get the same show as what I would if it was sold out. Is that making sense? So the thing is not to try and get gratification and validation. That's the word I'm looking for. It's important not to get validation from other places, from the outside world. And what I mean by the outside world is validation. And I seen something yesterday, this video, and this blew my mind. And it's something that I speak about. And Karen, you sent me this video, and it's something that I didn't want to get into this 21-day challenges. It's a little couple of, like, I've saved a couple of secrets backwards because I want to progress this forwards and I didn't want to go too deep into something. However, I'm going to just quickly brush over this. When you buy stuff, and I'm exactly the same, and I've only realized this recently in the past year that I'm doing this. Say, for instance, when I went to Dubai and I rented that Ferrari for a day, and I wanted that feeling of, what does it feel like to be in a Ferrari? What does it feel like to drive the car, to smell the car? Because I believe one day I'm going to have one. Like, that's a belief. Like, there's no question in my mind that I know where I'm going to live. I know what car I'm going to drive. I know what my partner's going to look like. Like, you need to visualize these things. As mental as that sounds, you need to know what it smells like. So I didn't know what a Ferrari smelled like. So I rented one for the day. And what I began to realize is it's not the actual physical car or house or watch, or it's not the actual thing that you look for. It's the feeling. And this might not mean anything just now because I haven't really quoted this in an actual way that you're going to understand this maybe. And that's not patronizing because this is quite not a spiritual subject. This is quite a deeper level. Everything's frequency and everything's energy, right? Everything that surrounds you is energy. And what I said the other day about you tuning into a radio station, say Real Radio, you're not going to hear my song on 4th1. It's impossible. It's impossible. There's no world we live in where you can tune into one radio station and listen to another one. It's physically impossible. So the way you have to get to Real Radio is you have to change your own frequency. You have to change your level of thinking. Why? Because you want to get to a certain feeling. So that each frequency is a different feeling. And I know I'm losing you with some of this. Believe me, this is true. I would put my life on this is true. Each level is a frequency. And again, the 4 main ones: health, wealth, relationships, lifestyle. These are all different frequencies. And you can be low in some of them. I know for a fact I'm quite low in relationships. I struggle with trust. I struggle with commitment. I struggle with, making plans on a daily basis. I struggle with that. And I know if I really wanted to, I could get better at it. Easily. However, I'm not ready to change it at the moment. I'm not in a position in my life where, do you know what? I really want to focus on relationships. I don't. I'm actually being quite selfish, and it's okay to be selfish. It's okay to say, do you know what? I want to take this path for a while. I want to take this path. I want to focus on this. I want to focus on myself. I don't want to say yes to everybody. And there's so much power, and don't use this in a bad way, but there's so much power in saying no to people. What do I mean by that? If somebody asked me to do a gig in Tenerife or Scotland or anywhere, and I didn't quite like the venue, or there was something not right with the venue, or it would have reflected me in a bad way, I would not take that gig. Like, and everyone does have a price. I understand that. However, I was speaking about money the other day, and and I like that because some people think money's evil, some people think money's good, and all money does is make you more of what you are. So, for instance, like something stupid like the people that are joining in, I had no idea that I was going to give these away. Right? What I'm saying is, be a giver. So, if I'm coming into money, I'm obviously going to give more. That makes sense, and that's proven. That's proved so much over the years where I do a lot of stuff for charity. Even behind the scenes, I never really post what I'm doing. I've posted a couple of like newspaper articles and whatever. However, nobody really knows what I do for charity. Nobody really knows what I do behind the scenes that I help other people. And that could be just spending time with people. That could be just messaging people. And I think there's somebody tuned in just now that I've realised that over the past few years, that if you message me, okay, it might take me a couple of days to get back to you. However, I'm always there. I'm always going to have your back. And I'm not saying I'm this fantastic person. However, I love to give. But when you're in a position to give, now this is a kicker. You need to be in a position to give first, is what normally people think. You need to give when you've got your glass full, which is kind of true. However, if you're in the mindset that you've already got the things that you need, gratitude, I've already got the amount of money that I'll already want in a few years. If you act and behave like that, you'll start attracting it on that same level. And I don't want to get too deep in it because this is a whole different subject for a whole different day. I just want to read some of these comments before we get in. I've just seen the word Ferrari. And again, by the way, look at this. And this is exactly my point I made. Look at this, right? Look at all the comments. The first word, by the way, this is just giving me chills. Because I know I'm not talking pish. The first word I saw there was Ferrari. Out of all of that, I don't know if you see that. That's your reticular activating system. And out of all those words, my brain just focused and zoomed in on Ferrari. I didn't even need to look at it. I just turned it and I saw Ferrari. What does that mean? It means that it's engraved in my head that I believe that that belongs to me. So anytime I see something that aligns with Ferrari or something a bit more elegant, that's like, that's for you. That's for you. Forget this stuff, that's for you. And it's the same with opportunities. It's the same with when somebody's trying to be kind to you. When somebody's trying to be kind to you, some of you might reject that because you don't feel worthy enough that you're deserving of that help. However, if you reject that help or if you reject somebody's kindness, that takes their joy away. And that's another thing I learned from a good friend, Erin Williamson, who I met in Los Angeles. Actually, I met in Vegas, but that's who one of my very, very, very close friends over in America, probably the closest person I've got in America. She told me, like, you always just reject stuff, Frankie. Like, all my girlfriends were trying to help you and all, like, their husbands, and as in help me, as in, like, give me tips for a show. And I'm like, no, I don't want anything. No. Like, people want to do that for you. And when they do something for you, it gives them joy. So not only do you need to be good at giving, you need to be good at receiving. Because if let's say, Cafe. I'm going to use Cafe as an example because Cafe's smashing it this week. Cafe, I'm going to knock you down a peg or two, right? Let's try. Right, Cafe. Imagine, say I was in a nightclub, right? And I met you at a bar and whatever, and I come up to you, and Cafe says to me, in fact, no, let's flip it. Let's flip it, Cafe, because I want you to get this feeling. So you come up to me in a nightclub, and I'm at the bar by myself, and you say, "Oh my God, I love your shoes. I love you. Like, are you Frankie?" And I'll go, "Yep. Oh, I absolutely love your shoes." And I just turn away. I don't even say anything. I just turn away. How would you feel? Maybe a bit peed off, understandably. You might walk away, take 5 minutes, and do you know what? It might be a bad day. It might be one, I'll be understanding. I'm going to try again. You tap me on the shoulder. "Frankie, would you like a drink?" And I just turn on, "Nah." And then I turn my back on you. Now you're getting annoyed. Now you're really getting pissed off. And I'm sorry for that language at 10 to 11 in the morning, but I would be absolutely livid. And you're thinking, do you know what? I'm going to try this one more time. And your energy changes now. You're on a different frequency for when you first originally came over. You're on a different level. You've actually got a bit of rage inside you. Understandably. You try me again. And I just say to you, do you know what? Stop speaking to me. Kathy, go away. Now, picture that as Kathy. Pretend you were me. And that's the universe trying to give you opportunities. That's the universe trying to give you stuff. That's people coming into your life that you don't recognize because you're so caught up in the problems that you already have. Eventually, the universe is going to say, do you know what? I've tried my best. That's it. They're not willing to accept what I'm trying to give them. Because, Kathy, I didn't see you in that light. It was too dark. I didn't see what you looked like. It was, is that making sense? And some people might say, well, why are you saying the universe? That sounds a bit woo-woo. Whatever you believe in. Some people believe in God. Some people believe in energy. Some people believe in a higher power. Whatever you believe in, everything is faith. Everything is a belief. So whatever your God or what you believe in, that's the way it works. And they will stop giving you stuff. However, if you're grateful every day, if you're thankful, if you're more open to seeing the bigger picture. Why is this person in my life? Am I here to help them, or are they here to help me? Do you know what? That person really hurt me. But I tell you what, I've learned a lesson. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to see these red flags again and, you know, follow that path, because I've spent 2 years and I've wasted 2 years. There's a lesson in everything. And to be fair, there's a blessing in everything. That rhymes. That's a good one. There's a lesson and blessing in everything. By the way, get these written down. We're on fire today. Right, we've got 9 minutes before I need to shoot. Right, can I get a shot of your Ferrari? Caroline, yes. And see if I could buy you one. I would buy you one. But I tell you what, it's that's not going to fulfill you. I've definitely enjoyed being a part of the 21 Day Challenge. Love the advice. Cheers, Claire. Appreciate it. Can't wait for the journal. Yep. Leslie, I need Mike. Oh, why did this just... oh, Leslie, I need Mike to do things. I need Mike to do things together now, and I can do it on my own. Ah, sorry, got you. Right, I'm with you, Leslie. Sorry. I needed Mike to do things together. Yep. And now I can do them on my own. It's taken this to put into action. I started yesterday. Went on one of the walks we did together after 4 years. Well done, Leslie. Well. Kathy, this 21 Day Challenge has switched on the light for me. Wow, I love that. Switched on the light. Frankie and the Mack pack every day has helped me get the motivation, positivity, commitment to make every day matter. And you know what? This isn't a place where I'm going to say, you know, you're going to hit your habits every day. And this is, you know, this is not like an army. This is just hopefully giving you a place where it's like, do you know what? Because I know for a fact some of you in a year's time, maybe 6 months' time, maybe even 10 years' time, will say to me at one point, by the way, do you know that little 21 day thing you did? This is what happened. I know that for a fact. I already know that. It's already happened. However, I want to see some results. I want to see some changes for the better. I already know I've changed myself. By the way, if I'd done this every month for you know, it's impossible to do 21 days every month. I'm far too busy for that. However, there is something. I've had an idea, by the way. I'm not going to announce it just yet, but I think I've cracked it. Some of you are not going to like it. Some of you are really not going to like it because, in fact, I won't go into too much detail at the moment. But there is something that I'm going to do, and it's only for people that are 100% committed. There's nobody that will do this that isn't committed. So I might only get 2 or 3 or 4 people a month. However, that will change them. And that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on quality rather than the quantity. I want to set up something that not everybody's just going to say, do you know what, I'm going to pay that. I'm going to pay that and just see what happens. Before you even get on the journey that I'm going to do, you need to be ready to change. And if not, by the way, this isn't for you. And that's either or. So I'm still going to keep doing the YouTube videos as in I'll post maybe 2 a week or whatever, but I don't know if I'm going to do live. Although I do love the live, however, it's getting to December, it's getting a bit busier. So, see you later, Karen, I appreciate it. Heidi, always here for you. I have bought 2 of my friends a gratitude journal for them and ready to use. I love that. Leslie, you're a lovely lad. I love that. Cheers. Robbie Barry, I did the same at Audi TT. Got one now. And again, people, and do you know what happens? I bet you when you got that Audi TT, some people are like, who does that Robbie think he is? Going around in his silver Audi D. By the way, I just got a picture of a silver Audi. What colour is it, Robbie? In fact, do you know what? I'm going to put a bet on. Because I know your personality. I feel like it's going to be a lighter, but you always wore black jackets though, wait there. I'm going to go silver. Or is it black? It's either silver or black. It's silver. Go with my gut instinct. Tell me what colour it is. Right, I'm in. Come on, tell me. What colour is it? Oh no, it's black! I said that. I knew. As soon as I said silver, I thought, no, it can't be because you always wore black jackets. And you would. Robbie, you got me. Well done, son. Kathy, honestly, I'm persistent as it may have been the first time I met you in person. But I know from your singing post shows, then I wouldn't give up or walk away. And we all have down days. Kathy, that's absolutely brilliant. Honestly, I appreciate that. Let's jump into the next section before I go over time, because we've got 4 minutes to fit in 3 sections. The science of self-belief. Did you know that belief can physically change your brain? 100%. Studies in psychology show that when you consistently believe in the ability to succeed, I'm going to read that again. When you believe consistently in your ability to succeed, it rewires your brain to support that confidence. There's a hack and an easy way to build your self-belief. Write a list the night before of what you're going to do in the morning. Make my bed, brush my teeth for 2 minutes. By the way, this can be stuff you're already done. Brush my teeth for 2 minutes. Do you know what some of you might actually do, which benefited me, is text one random person a day. Good morning, how are you? Just thought I'd check in. Somebody try that for a week and watch how much stuff changes. Text one, it can't be the same person 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row. It has to be a different person each day. Somebody that you've not spoken to in a while. Hi, just thought I'd check in. Hope you're well. That's it. Because I know when anytime I get a message like that where people don't want anything from me, and I'm thinking people are just taking care. Somebody sent me a message today saying thank you. Thank you for your time. And I think it was Anne Louise. You know, and a lot of you have done that. And that means more to me than anything. You know, seeing that, thank you for your time. How are you? How was your show last night? That's when you know you're in that kind of environment where it's like you're a giver. You know? So basically, self-belief creates resilience and it makes it easier to bounce back from setbacks. Genuinely, setbacks are the best thing. And I spoke about this in my ADHD meeting. Setbacks are the best thing. I spent 4 hours the other night editing my ADHD meeting and my laptop froze and it got deleted. I still have the original videos, however, it's going to take me another 4 hours to edit it. Now, as you can imagine, I dropped a few F-bombs, went on a tantrum for about, I'd say a good 9 minutes. I nearly threw the laptop out the window. However, took a step back. Right. Yes, it's a pain in the arse, but what good can come from this? Well, I realised that the meeting was still an hour and 5 minutes long video. Started on it last night, and there was so much fluff that I cut out last night that I've made it shorter, I made it more consistent, I made it flow better. So if the first one never got deleted, I would have put that out and it probably wouldn't have got the engagement or got my message across the way I would have wanted it. That deleted for a reason. Yes, it was a pain in it. I'm never going to get 4 hours back. However, I learned a few new editing tricks. I learned a few new things. By the way, I didn't know how to do that before. And then I applied it to the second time I've done it. And do you know what? If it deleted again, I probably would still make it better. I would make it shorter, more concise. In fact, I might just delete it for that sake. Is that making sense? So the setback is okay, but it's the comeback that is like, right, how are we going to come back from this? How are we going to make it better? How can we make it different than the last time? And I tell you something, if you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, and you're expecting different results, that is a definition of insanity. That is a definition of insanity. If you do the same things over and over and over again and expect that, it was Isaac Newton that said that. Me and Isaac Newton used to be very good friends. And he once told me when he found the apple, we were beside Adam and Eve, and he had said to me, that is a definition of insanity. Section 3, practical steps. Building self-belief isn't suddenly about having all the answers. It's about taking small, consistent steps that prove that you're capable. Just went over that. Every small win, every commitment that you keep to yourself, that builds your confidence. That is the hack that's changed me. You know, when I used to go to gigs, I'd write a list, turn up on time. What was the list that I used to have? It wasn't even turn up on time. It was like turn up like 10 minutes before. You know, I had this little list before I went on every gig. And that got me in a frame of mind. That got me in a posture that benefited me to do my gig. And then eventually I never needed it. I still need to hype myself up at times, but not as much now. I know what I'm going to deliver. And when you become that confident in your ability, like, I know for a fact you give me any audience, I'll entertain them. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't even matter if you can speak English or not. I will entertain you. And again, some people confuse this with arrogance. However, once you've done 14 shows in Tenerife a week, 14 a week, for 3 years, the first 3 years I've done 14 shows a week. That's what? Wait there. 14. There's 52 weeks. Say I took 2 weeks off in a year, so 50 weeks. That's 700 shows a year. You take that over 3 years, that's 2,100 shows. That I've just, by the way, that's just practice. I was still bad. After 2,100 shows, I wasn't the person I am today. That's how much you need to put in. That's how much time you need to put in. I can give you all the advice and all the tips and the tricks in the world. However, if you don't put that time in, nothing's going to change. Is that making sense? 2,100 shows. And say on average, each show were 2 hours, right? So times that by 3. So it's 2,100 shows. And let's say 1.5 hours on average, an hour and a half. That's 3,150 hours. Divide that by 24, which is how many hours there are in a day. That's 131 days. Consistently, I performed. That's bonkers. That's over a third of a year. And I was still not the best. Still not good. And by the way, I'm still nowhere near the best. I'm only just starting. You know? If that puts some context into that. Because there's this famous guy who said, I can't remember who it was, to master a skill, you have to put in 10,000 hours. I think there's something to do with 10,000 hours of practice before you actually master a skill. And maybe not even master it, become really proficient at it. And last section is basically what we've just covered. Self-belief isn't just for the challenge, it's a foundation of everything that you do. As for this journey, let that belief carry you forward. However, your belief can come and go. And again, it's the accountability in the community that's going to keep you there. The accountability and community is 100% going to be the game changer this time. Because if you're sat there just now thinking of the same habit you always want to change and you haven't changed it, there's something missing. And I would probably bet, even though I've lost a tenner to Robbie Barry with his car, I would still bet money that the accountability and the community are the things that you'd be missing. You might have the right mindset, you might have the knowing why. However, if you've nobody to keep you accountable and you've not got the community to support that belief, then it's always an uphill struggle. I'm not saying you can fail. By the way, it's very possible. However, imagine you were cutting trees, right? So for most people, right? Say if you were, and you had this challenge to cut down a tree. Now, what do I mean by this? You're going to think I'm bonkers. So, how do I put this in the best way? I just thought of like an analogy. So you've got a tree that you want to cut down, right? And say that tree takes you 3 hours to cut down, right? But you're given a blunt axe. You're given a blunt axe and you're just absolutely hammering this tree for 3 hours, and eventually you get that after 3 hours. Well, so you've done it. You've done it in 3 hours, but it was an absolute struggle. You feel exhausted after. You cannot be bothered doing anything else. You give me the same axe, I'm going to sharpen that axe for an hour. For an hour straight, I'm going to sharpen that axe until that's sharp. Now that's your mindset, that's your accountability, that's your community, that's your knowing why. You're sharpening your tools. Because that's now only going to take you an hour. When you sharpen that for an hour, the goal is going to take you half the time to reach there. Is that making sense? It's let's read some of these comments before I head off, because I really do need to go. I've got rehearsals at 12 o'clock in Haymarket. Right, makes you more determined to conquer your achievement. Yep, I have a morning routine which includes message someone to check in with them. I love that. Really good. By the way, that's a really good habit to get into. In fact, I should do it more. Little setbacks in life makes us more determined to achieve our goals. Heidi, bang on. Time is a 4-letter word with so much meaning to everything you do in life. Love that. Attitudes are more important than facts. And by the way, that's so true. Because if you've got the same fact, two people can see that same fact differently. What do you mean, Frankie? Well, if I've got a piece of paper here and it says a number 6 here, what are you guys seeing? It's still the same piece of paper with a number on it, right? You guys are seeing a 9 and I'm seeing a 6. I'm seeing a 6 and you're seeing a 9. We are both right. But we would argue till we're blue in the face. No, that's a 9. No, that's a 6. That's a 9. That's a 6. That's a 9. That's a 6. However, if I just say, well, look at it from my perspective. Oh, crap. You're right. It was a 6. And I'm like, well, it was a 9. I'm really sorry. It's the same thing. You're just looking at it a different way. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing stuff here, guys. Right, tomorrow. Last day. And I feel like I'm getting very, very close to having an actual plan of how I'm going to take this forward. However, it's not going to be for everybody. I'm just going to tell you that right now. It's not going to be because it's impossible. If there's 50 or 60 people or 100 people in this thing, it's not going to work. In a group is fine. Group's fine. In fact, you want more people in the private group. However, when it's doing more in-depth stuff, you're better to have maybe 20 people max. So I thought of a way. Thank you for your time, support, Frank. Not a problem at all, Heidi. Caroline, I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your new gratitude journals. I've sent them out. Just as a wee thank you for tuning in. And if there's anything else I can do, if there's any topics that you want for tomorrow, just to finish it on, let me know. In fact, do that. I'm going to combine some ideas for tomorrow, and we'll make that the last day of the 21-day challenge. I'm going to miss it. I am going to miss it. But yeah, I appreciate every single one of you guys. So I'm going to shoot off just now, and I'll see you tomorrow. See you guys.